Hi, my name is Catarina Hällzon. I'm a jewellery artist and I'm working within the field of arts and craft. I can't really tell you about my work without letting you know a bit about my life. Nature has always played a vital part in my life and in my work. I like to fish, I hunt for elk, and I draw inspiration from old traditional craft techniques. My working process defines me as an artist. It's essential to what I do. I use traditional techniques, but often in an untraditional ways. By first learning a craft within its original context, I make sure that the knowledge stays alive. My strength lies in seeing a material, understanding it, and then using its inner qualities. Today I live and work in the countryside of Bergslagen in central Sweden. It's a historic region, once known for its iron industry. Now it's a peaceful landscape, full of forests, lakes, and silence. Gone Fishing is a project that began in 2006, around the same time as I graduated from Konstfack University of Arts, Craft and Design in Stockholm, where I also lived for many years. My mother taught me how to fish when I was just a little girl. We'd go into the beautiful landscapes of Värmland where she grew up, and I still today returns to these waters to find focus, inspiration, and peace. When I fish, I mostly get perches and occasionally a pike or two. I never fish for materials. I eat what I take, and then I take care of the leftovers, the skins, and the scales. I tan the skins myself using old traditional techniques, including egg yolk and oil. The smaller skins are so delicate that they need the body to armor them. In necklaces, I use birch as a shield for the skins. My pieces comments of today's urban way of living, where we've lost the knowledge of how to bait the hook, and how we no longer have the time to go fishing. They reflect upon how time seems to be a rare commodity today. In my work, I learn as I go along. I did not know that the scales were so hard I had to drill them one by one before I could string them to a necklace. I really enjoy talking to people at my exhibitions. I love all the different conversations I get to have. Some talk about old relatives, remembering how they used to take care of skins. Some talk about art jewelry. And some, they just talk about fishing, telling me all their secret fishing spots. Another ongoing project is called Back to My Roots. It began with my grandfather, a man of the forest, working long and hard days among the trees. Growing up, he was an idol of mine. When my grandfather passed away, he left behind a stable full of birch bark, material he never had the time to craft. It had always been there, but one day I saw it differently, through the eyes of an artist, and that's when I knew I had found my next material. I started by learning how to craft birch bark in the traditional way. I fell in love with the techniques, but along the way, I felt I had to work it in my material, metal. I began weaving in metal. It's a slow and precise work. I'm cutting all the metal stripes by hand before I start to weave. But I like the slowness. It keeps me grounded, in the present. I love how copper shifts in color. It's just like the seasons outside my window. By using silver instead of birch bark, I explore the idea of value. And perhaps how we no longer value traditional craft itself. Through my work, I want to preserve knowledge that once was a necessity, but now is close to being forgotten. We no longer had to make things by hand, but we don't have to forget how to either. My work comments on the consuming society we live in, where we buy, use, and then throw away. And at the same time, it's a tribute to my ancestors, to all the time and care they put into making before me. I also hunt for elk, in the same team as my ancestors. My family has hunted in these forests for more than 100 years. The striking beauty and the color of October is breathtaking. Coming home from my first elk hunt about 20 years ago, I had a jaw in my backpack. And that says a lot about how I work. I did not know why I took it, or what to do with it. I just knew I had to have it. When I find a new material or a new path to explore in my work, I go with my gut feeling. I rarely have an idea of where it will take me or if it ever will be work I can show. Experimenting with the elk teeth and casting gave me a series of pieces where the tooth has turned blue by the heat, and where the bone marrow used to be, there's now silver holding the piece together. The color of the piece reflects the color of early October mornings by the lake. In the end, my art is about connections between nature and craft, tradition and transformation, the past and the present. Every piece carries traces from my life, fishing trips, forest walks, and quiet moments in my studio. I want to thank you for listening, letting me share a little piece of my world with you. You can follow me on Instagram, where I try to post as much as possible from my process.